Hi there everybody, how are we doing? You are watching me, Boomy, and this is my channel, Boomy Reactions. So today everybody, I'm back with another Cowboy Kent Rollins video. Yes, I can't get enough of them. I love the food he's making. I've actually tried one of his recipes now using my wonderful new Kent Rollins cookbook. It's every bit as good as you think it is as well, by the way. The photos in there as well are absolutely stunning from his lovely wife, Shannon, the very talented lady. And it's just, it's a lovely cookbook. It's brilliant, honestly. It's very, very good. So I recently made his sausage gravy and biscuits. Yes. And it was absolutely amazing, mind-blowing. I'm a little bit sad that I've never tried them before because they are absolutely delicious. Oh, love them, love them, love them. Gonna make them every week, at least. So guys, let's have a look at what Kent is doing today. So this is homemade peach cobbler. Oh my gosh, yes, I've mentioned a few times. A few of you have tried to explain to me what a peach cobbler is. I think I understand the basis of it now. So I can't make up my mind whether it fits in more with a crumble or like a pastry, is it like a pie? So let's see what Kent does with this. Old fashioned with a crumble. Yes, this is what is blowing my mind. So Kent is making a brown sugar and oatmeal crumble to go on the top. Yes, so if ever I make a crumble here, apple or berry crumble, whichever one, or rhubarb crumble, they're nice. Yes, the crumble that I like to put on top, I quite often incorporate oats into it. It gives that lovely, warm, oaty kind of flavour. And brown sugar is an absolute must in any crumble. It gives it that richness, that caramel. Ooh, delicious. So let's check out what Kent is going to do with this. And as ever, guys, if you're enjoying these reactions, please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, thank you.
I don't know what's better than brown sugar, oatmeal, butter, a little cinnamon, some ice cream, and some homegrown peaches. Ain't nothing better. I'm finna show you how to make an old-fashioned peach cobbler, comfort food at the best.
You're gonna have to give this a go. Oh, looks good.
Old-fashioned, classic-style peach cobbler. The way my grandmother and them used to make it, when you come in from church on Sunday, you could smell that flavor all the way through the house. You'd skip the meal and run right to dessert because it was the best thing that was going on that day. So what does it take to put this deal together? First, a cup of all-purpose flour. He's
wearing a different recipe today. Now, I don't know if any of you have noticed, but I love Kent's aprons. So he's wearing a different one today. Let's have a look. It still says, can't get full on fancy. I love that. I'm going to have to try and find one of these aprons because I need one in my life.
3/4 cup of packed brown sugar. I like to mix all that together. 3/4 of a cup of cubed butter. Throw it right in there. Make sure it's chilled.
Butter?
I will give you a little tip. If you're in a hurry, you can take a cheese grater with really cold butter, but being outside today, my butter ain't that cold, so we're gonna...
someone else has mentioned this to me. It's a really, really good tip. I think Kent did suggest this. I think it might have been for the biscuits and gravy recipe for the biscuits, obviously. My butter was chilled, but another good tip I've had, thank you, is to freeze the butter. And then it's easy to grate, and then you've still got very, very chilled, very cold butter. And that works best, apparently.
Do it with a fork and just make all this work together.
Ooh, that would be easier, wouldn't it? You've got those nice little bits already there from the grater. Oh, quick question for you guys. How come Kent hasn't used his, what's it called? Like the pastry cutter that I have seen him use on a few of his other recipes. So presumably because you're just rubbing the fat into the flour, it would do the same thing, right? You know, make those nice little crummy crumbs. But I suppose he's gathering all this together into a dough, isn't he?
So folks, you can see we have sort of creamed this together. Now if you got one of them fancy dandy handy gadgets like that stand mixer, it'll do all this work for you. But I don't have one, so we're going to make it into a ball stage, which is just like that.
That was risky.
Set it aside. What is next? Our all-purpose oven.
I'm expecting to see a little blooper at the end where Kent attempted to do that first time but didn't catch it.
It is a 12-inch that has been lightly greased, and I want you to take this, sort of flatten it a little, and then we're just going to try to spread it on the bottom here. You can roll this out if you think you need to. It's going to get pretty thin. Now, if you was in the house, you would have preheated your oven to 350 degrees, and when you got to this point, you would slip it in there and let this cook for about 15 minutes. Guess what's next? Time to go to fire. Cook this a little dab till it sets up just a little. Then we'll put the filling together and the classic crumble on top. So folks, you've seen me using a tall trivet. That little crust is really thin. Remember what I told you? So I'm using a tall trivet, using a hardwood mesquite today. Pretty heavy ring, but a little ways away from the Dutch oven. Load the top up. We're just going to let it set up just a little. I don't want it to brown. I don't want it to crisp. I just want it to set up to where it's firm to the touch. Like I say, in the oven, take about 15 minutes. Out here, only God knows. Well, we've been on about 8 or 10 minutes, so let's take a look. I've got something growing here. As thin as that is, we sure don't want it to bubble too much. So you can see this is already trying to take place and cook a tad. So we're going to slow it down on the bottom. Let that top catch up just a tad. Just because you took it off the fire doesn't still mean it ain't cooking, because it is. That cast iron is hot, holding that heat. So we take it off there. That ought to finish that bottom. Let the top catch up. Then we'll put the filling together. Well, folks, we checked this deal, and that dog will hunt right there. It is a done deal. Now, this is not going to pull from the sides like a pie crust or none of that. I just want it to brown a little and get a little firm to the touch, and we have accomplished that. So we're going to set it up here and get the peaches ready to pour in. That little bottom crust was done there, so let's work on this filling. Now, today I'm using some homegrown white peaches that a feller gave to me, and ooh, they are so good. It was about 2 pounds of them that were already peeled, a little sliced. Put them in there, put about 2 cups of sugar on them. Now, if you're using a canned peach, get you 2 of them 15-ounce cans, pour them in there. Don't pour all that juice in there just yet, because I don't want you to get it so thin. So we have brought this to a boil once, put a butter in there, let it incorporate a little. We're going to add about 1/4 of a cup of cornstarch. And as you can see, it is already beginning to thicken. I want it to get sort of like a pie filling you sort of pull out of the can, you know, but not hardly that. So we're going to let her go just a little bit more. But while you're doing this, it is one of them deals you have to stir constantly. So if you're stirring a long time, a man left, okay? I got it to the thickness I wanted, so now let's take her over here and let's go ahead and get it in that Dutch oven, and we'll make the crumble top filling that goes on it. Here we go. Right on top of our little bottom crust we put on there. That's good enough to eat right there for it is. Better let it cool off, or it'll burn the hair off your tongue. Let's put together our little crumble topping that goes on there like Grandma.
I love the statements he comes out with. Burn the hair off your tongue. It makes me laugh. Right, so I would have to use tinned peaches in the UK. Unfortunately, we don't have your lovely Georgian peaches from Georgia, is that right? Yeah, we don't have those beautiful peaches on our doorstep. So, you know, it'd have to be tinned. My experience with peaches in the UK has never been a good one. They're never ripe enough. They're never, I don't know. We just don't have the climate for them. And even wherever we've imported them from, it just doesn't seem like they're ripe, or, you know, they're always rock hard. So it's just a bit safer to go with tinned peaches, to be honest. But I love peaches.
All used to make about 1/4 of a cup of flour, 1/2 cup of packed brown sugar, 1.5 cups of old-fashioned oats. I like to go ahead and mix all this really well before we go any further, 5 tablespoons of chilled butter.
Why did Kent specifically say old-fashioned oats? Does he mean make sure you're getting a good quality oat that isn't rolled oats? No? What did he mean? Anyone, let me know. Let me know.
Unsalted. This is going to be like a crumble that we just sprinkle over the top. So get it incorporated a little well there to where it'll make a crumble. I use a fork. Now you can use one of them crumb cutting pastry deals if you got one.
That's
but
what, yeah.
This is how I learned from Grandma and Mama, so that's what I'm going to use.
Oh, I love that. Their way is the right way.
When it gets to
right?
about that point, I like to try to get my hands in it. But you can see how it's sort of beginning to bond together there. All right, so you can see we've got most of them big chunks of butter all mixed up. Now when it gets to this point right here and you got it all incorporated well, I like to add a little cinnamon. How much? The right amount. A little nutmeg, because that's the old-fashioned way. About a teaspoon of salt. Mix again really well. There's a secret. Grandma used to do this here. This is what you called butter flavored maple syrup.
Oh.
Now she'd run one across there, one across there, and one across there. How much is that? Probably close to 1/4 of a cup, if I was guessing. Now I'm gonna pull this over here where I can work on it. And we're gonna take these crumbles. Now I like to sort of try to get them to where they'll sort of stay in one position. Lay them in there sort of flat instead of just scattering them right off the bat. It comes that time when you just sprinkle. And when this cooks, them peaches is going to bubble up through there, and this is going to turn into a lip-smacking, beat your brains out with your tongue goodness. Time to put the lid on it. Go back over here, get us some coals. Now, since we done cooked that bottom crust, we're going to have really light heat on the bottom, but pretty heavy on the top. Sure, I want to cook that crust a little more, but we sure can't burn it. That oven was still hot as it sat over there with that little bottom crust on there. Poured the peaches in there, thickened it, made our topping, come back over here, added a little heat to that bottom heat that was there. Probably was on about 5 minutes after that, just so that bubbling filling would sort of come up through that top crumble, and then we'll take it off that bottom and finish it on top. Remember, after we took it off that bottom, make sure that top heat is extremely hot, because that's where the rest of our cooking is, from the top only. Make sure you check them coals every once in a while to make sure you're good and hot. Well, we've had that top heat on there probably about 12 to 15 minutes. So I want to see what's happening here, make sure that things are like I want them to be. You can see this brown that's happening right here. Now sure, all this is brown and it's going to have that crunch to it, but I want it to brown and caramelize a little more with that maple syrup, that sugar, that butter, that brown sugar. So we're going to leave it on there just a little bit more, then we'll set it over there. We will have to let this set and let it cool a little. It'll set up a little more at that time. Well, folks, takes me back to my childhood memories. It does, coming in the house, getting that same smell. It's just something about the smell of peaches, brown sugar, butter, and a little maple syrup that, it's pretty touching to me, because we had this a lot for special occasions, but every time that Mama or Grandma cooked it, we thought we were special. We took it off the fire, we let it set about 15 minutes here to let it cool a little, but also just to let it set up. Now this is not going to be like you can cut it out of there in pieces of cake. This is what I call a cobbler with lots of goo in it. Yeah, you heard me right, goo, and that is the best kind. Got the apparatus that we need to eat it, and one of these utensils that it takes to get it there. Cool Whip. Now you can do this with ice cream.
Cool Whip.
We can't because it's too warm out.
It is pretty warm. I like to put some right in the bottom of that bowl. Then I'm gonna come right over here and get me a big old scooping of this right here.
Oh yeah. So what's the bottom like now?
Whoa, a jumper. More Cool Whip. Get me some of that oatmeal, some of that Cool Whip. Be ready for it to be hot, because it is. The crunch that oatmeal give to it, plus them peaches, Thank you, Mama and Grandma, so much for teaching me this recipe when I was little, because it is good eating. But you do it with ice cream, you do it with whatever you do it with, but do it and invite the neighbors and the friends over, because this is what food is meant to be, bringing people together, making them smile, making them feel good.
Absolutely, Kent.
Do you feel good?
I'm feeling better every bite I take. Brought back a lot of childhood memories for me, it did. I hope you can create these memories at home when you cook it. Thank you so much. God bless you. Hit the subscribe button down there. See y'all down the trail. I've got to eat.
Bye, Kent.
Well, folks, as you can see, we got the wagon loaded. So if you're looking for something to do this Memorial Day weekend, where are we going to be? Lebanon, Missouri. Wagons for Warriors. This is about our third year. There'll be 30, 35 chuck wagons there. You can come out and get a sample from all of them, visit with everybody. But it's a great cause. It goes to the Fort Leonard Wood area, the Wounded Warriors there. So we ask you to come by, get you a ticket. We'd love to visit with you. Folks, if you ever want to know where we might show up, hey, be careful, we could show up at your house. But Shannon will have a little link down there that will get you an email newsletter that will tell you where we're at. You can always check the website. She'll have more information there listed below about Wagons for Warriors. It is a great cause because we owe these folks a lot on Memorial Day. God bless you.
Oh, that's so lovely. Were any of you, did you go along? If anyone has been and caught Kent through up and down the USA, let me know, let me know. Do you know what Kent was saying about how he feels when he eats this, because it's so nostalgic for him, and it was his grandma and his mum that taught him how to make this. Oh my gosh, it warms my heart. That is what I think people that are so drawn to cooking and baking for others, I think that's what draws us to it. It's that feeling, you know, kind of recreating recipes that we were taught when we were younger from the people that meant the most to us, and making other people feel so special. It's like you can taste the love that's gone into it. And that for me, that is what cooking, baking is all about. From one cook to another, nail on the head. Yeah, that is exactly what it's about. I love that. Oh, and it was his gran and his mum that taught him that recipe. Well, the nans and the mums are never wrong. Never, never, never. I love how he said you can use one of these pastry cutters, but this is the way that his gran and his mum taught him how to make it. So he's going to carry on doing the same. I love that. Absolutely. Oh, just 100%. I loved it. Love it, love it, love it. So I'm interested in what that pastry kind of base tastes like once it's cooked. So yeah, I know I've been a bit confused over the peach cobblers. At first I was like, is it more of a pie or a pastry, or is it a crumble? I think it's maybe like a very happy marriage of both. Who created this? This is an amazing idea. Just combine the best of both worlds. So I'm 100% gonna have to try this recipe. It looks delicious. It looks amazing. I love peaches and I love a crumble. So what's to not like? Oh my gosh. When I do a crumble, more recently, I've started putting the crumble all together on a tray and kind of pre-cooking it a little bit, and then taking it out. And then I find you've got much bigger pieces. It's kind of like a lot of them weld themselves together. So you've got the nice little crumbly crumbles. And then you've got some, like the odd big chunk of it that's kind of sealed itself together with the next piece. And I like that. It's delicious. Honestly, try it. Yeah, and then it makes it a little bit less fine, and you still got it. It'll disperse around the top of the fruit filling, but you know, I do like to get a nice big chunk of crumble. So fantastic. I'm gonna have to try this. It looks amazing. I hope it's in my Kent Rollins cookbook, which was so generously given to me by my fan Lupe. Thank you very much, Lupe. And so, yes, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching with me. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.